Hey now, ladies and gentlemen. Hey now, hey now. Hey now, hey now. Hey now, hey now. Welcome to hour number 3 of the Line Talk 99.5. Oh, we supposed to have Murphy in? I'm going to text Matt Murphy.
When was the last time we had him in? It's been like forever, hasn't it?
He called in last week and we had him for about 5 minutes and then he lost his signal. So last Friday was the last time we had him, but not for very long. And then before that, it was a few weeks. So he's just hit or miss, man. He's just hit or miss. We'll see. We'll see. I just texted him. We'll see what he says. One more car thing, just because they just sent it in. Shannon says, my first car was a 1978 Ford Fairmont. I lived less than 10 miles from the school and burned a quart of oil every day. Thankfully, I only drove it for a couple of months, then got a hand-me-down 83 Chevrolet with an inline six, three on the tree, no AC.
Oh my!
But I had the wheel well vents, midnight blue with the same color vinyl seats. So many burned from that thing during the summer. So many burns from that thing during the summer.
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, your air conditioning is a little hole in the wheel well.
That's pretty
Dang,
good.
and three on the tree. I mean, that means it's a stick shift, but it is up on the steering wheel column.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yes.
Oh, that's gotta be.
Oh,
I've never driven one of those.
I never could. My dad would never let me drive. He had a Ford F-150. It was like that.
I've drove plenty of stick shifts. I can drive a stick shift, but I don't know if I could do one that's actually on the column. I guess I could, but it's got to be a little more complicated. You know, it's all kind of the same. Lily says you have the craziest listeners, Andrew. Yes, I'm aware. I think we have the most. I think we have the craziest, most unpredictable, uh, inappropriate, insensitive, and um obnoxious
Yeah, but I don't know
group
about
of
the
listeners.
insensitive.
No, well,
They're there
not this
for
is
you.
not for everybody. I'm
Mm.
I'm taking just all the characteristics that
The
we would
broad
have.
strokes.
Yeah. So they're like some of those would be very small fractions of the audience. Most everybody's great. I mean, the vast majority of the audience is super nice. Like I met at the band banquet, one of the band dads came up to me last night.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Hey man, love the show." He's like, "I'm in the truck all day, listen to you all the time." And that was super nice. It's always good to hear because I kind of feel out of place when I go to these band things because I don't really know anybody. I mean, there's some people that are there in the realm from when I went to school
Mm-hmm.
that are like older people, but as far as the other parents, I don't really know anybody. I
Well,
don't really
get
know
to
any
know
other
them.
band parents.
Get to know them.
I'm not good at getting to know people. Like if they want to come up and talk to me, that's one thing. But I just
Man, you got to work on that. You just go up there and say, "Hey, do you know who I am?"
I sat
Yeah.
so I was sitting at a table last night with my ex-wife Peyton, his friend, and his girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was kind of like just get a table where you can, so you shared a table with another group of people,
Mm-hmm.
and the other group of people had this small kid. He's probably like 3 or 4, and he's playing this game on the phone. I guess they were just trying to keep him occupied, and he kept raging on this game, and he would start slapping the table, and he'd be kicking me and stuff, and I'm like, "Come on, kid, you gonna have to turn it down a little
Push
bit."
that kid out of the chair.
I know, I was just gonna tip him over.
Dang.
Yeah, it was something else. But the banquet was great. Like for the people in the band that put that on, fantastic job. Also, Peyton's little fundraiser that they're doing,
Yes.
they're extending that until Sunday. So if you feel like chipping in on his fundraiser, it's just straight donations. It's not like going and buying stuff or whatever. It's on my Facebook page. You just scroll down a few posts and you'll see it. And if you want to chip in, our boy Boomer chipped in big time for that, which I appreciate more than he knows. He's always chipped in for Peyton and helping out with that stuff. So he's great, man. Love Boomer. Do we know if Boomer's going to be there tonight? He was at your last gig.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do the Stallions play tonight? I guess that would be the deciding factor.
I don't think they're playing tonight. I don't think. Are they playing at home? They're playing the 3rd. They're playing on a Sunday.
Oh, okay. Sunday game. Well, you've got a gig tonight. Sherry Island Pub out on Coosa Island.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just search that on Google, Sherry Island Pub, and find them. We'll be out there tonight having a good time. You play 6 to 9.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I go a little longer if it's fun.
Yeah. So come out there, give JB some tips. He's got Venmo. You can drop him some cash and, buy him some dinner or whatever.
There you go.
You don't ever have anybody buy you food.
No, well, I don't really have to.
Oh, you don't have to? Oh, does Joel provide you food?
Yeah, that's part of the deal.
Okay, so don't buy JB food. Just tip him. Take the money you were going to buy food with.
There
and
you
tip
go.
him.
There you go.
That's the
You're so
ticket.
smart. You're my manager.
They have great food there. Great food, great
cheese
drinks.
cheese curds.
Oh, those cheese
my
curds
gosh,
are amazing. And their burger with the Guinness cheese on
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah, man. They make that Guinness cheese in-house. So, yeah, y'all come out tonight, hang out with us. It'll be a good time. Good old time. All right, let's hit some headlines, shall we?
Yep.
If we hear from Matt Murphy, we'll railroad all of it, but I don't expect it's kind of last minute, so I don't expect him to call in. But just real quick, the House voted yesterday, and I mentioned this towards the end of the show. It kind of happened last minute. Voted to fund DHS, which ends a 75-day shutdown. If you recall, and this is what we explained yesterday, the Senate sent over a funding bill to the House that funded DHS with the exclusion of ICE and Border Patrol. And Mike Johnson, and so the Senate passed that, sent it over to the House, and then immediately went on recess. We saw John Thune at the airport. We saw, wasn't that when Lindsey Graham was in Disneyland? We saw Ted Cruz on a plane. Like, they got out of town quick. And Mike Johnson comes out, and he's like, what the hell? He's like, they just sent me a funding bill that does not fund Border Patrol or ICE. It doesn't fund them. It funds everything but that. And he's like, we're not doing that. We're not going to fund everything but these, because these individuals have to be paid as well. And this was, mind you, not a Democrat scheme. This was Republicans signed off with Democrats to pass a bill that didn't fund Border Patrol and ICE agents. Well, when the House voted to fund DHS yesterday, instead of doing what we would expect Mike Johnson to do, which was draft new legislation, because what I said yesterday is that the House would have to send that back to the Senate. Then I found out they didn't have to send it back to the Senate, and I was like, what? The reason they didn't is because it's the same funding bill that the Senate sent that didn't fund ICE and Border Patrol. So the House folded and just said, okay, that's fine. We'll just sign off on the funding bill that doesn't fund these individuals. And we're going to try to go through reconciliation or whatever and fund these agencies. Now that bill goes to Donald Trump's desk, and I'm curious to see what Donald Trump's response is to a bill that does not fund our immigration services. Because I can't imagine that he's going to be happy about that. That's a win for Democrats. I mean, plain and simple. It's a win for Democrats, at least temporarily. They got what they wanted. All this 75 days worth of fighting, Republicans did, and they finally gave Democrats what they wanted. That's why congressional Republicans suck. It is just a reminder of how weak, utterly weak these individuals are. They bought it. They gave these freaking communist, America-hating losers known as the Democrats, exactly what they wanted, and they should be ashamed of themselves. With everything that's come out as of late, with you know, um, the James Comey stuff, with the Fauci stuff, with the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center funding hate groups, with all of that, it's kind of like you've got the Democrats cornered. There's no need to give them any leeway or to give them any wins. They're taking L after L after L, and you're over here like, well, we'll give them this one. Man, screw those guys. They don't deserve any breathing room because they're going to continue to do what they do. Like with the SPLC, they're still doing this crap. I saw a video out of Rhode Island. Police are launching an investigation after a video shows a guy walking down the street wearing a KKK robe and a hat, a Klan hat. And I thought to myself, that's probably a Democrat. Whether he was paid by the Southern Poverty Law Center to do that or not, I can go ahead and probably guarantee because he was just walking down the street by himself, and there was no interaction with him. It's just video of this guy. It said the clip captured around 2 a.m. on Monday in the Arctic section of West Warwick shows the individual in flowing white robes and a pointed hood walking past local businesses. One eyewitness was driving by with his brother when he spotted the figure and started recording. He later described seeing the creepy red eyeballs staring out from under the hood. He said, when somebody looks at you and that you can't see, you just see their eyeballs. That's freaking creepy, man. Shop owner Leslie wasn't amused when she reviewed her own surveillance footage the next day. She said, so I'm sure some have already seen the video circulating of the Klansman in front of my shop. Yes, it's real, and I'm sure you already know I do not support this in any way, shape, or form, and I'm absolutely disgusted that you stopped by to pay me a visit. He didn't stop by to pay you a visit. He just walked by your store. So here it is what one of my cameras caught during this stunt that is absolutely no way funny. Try it during the day. Dare you, loser. Hashtag hate has no home here. Hashtag love your neighbor, except that guy. So it's one of two things. It's somebody just trolling and probably trying to make some social media content, or it's a Democrat trying to cause a hubbub in his own town. That's usually how those things play out. Speaking of SPLC. Anyway, moving on. Coming up next, DOJ released last night high-res footage of the Cole Allen shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. What do we see from that? And where do we go from here? All coming up next. 205-545-9950. 545-9950. Here we go. All right. So I mentioned the high resolution footage. It's kind of weird. I don't even know why we got that fuzzy footage at first. We've all seen the video of Cole Allen running through the hotel lobby sprinting, which, by the way, now that we got the high res footage, he doesn't look like he's running quite as fast as we thought he was. You know, Trump's made several comments about how he's basically like an NFL running back. When I watch the new video, I don't feel like he's running that fast. But what's weird about it, what we do see in the high res footage is that so he's, first of all, the day before, he's scoping out the place. You see him walking through hallways. He ends up walking in the gym at one point, looking around, even talking to some employees. But the night of the dinner, moments before he runs through there, you see him walk up kind of a short distance from the magnetometers, and he takes a left and he walks through a door that I guess maybe, I don't know if it takes him outside or to another part of the hotel or what. And behind him is one of the officers. I don't know if it's Capitol or DC police or what, with one of their dogs, drug sniffing dog, bomb sniffing dog, whatever. And the dog kind of follows Cole Allen as he goes out the door. Now the dog's on a leash with the officer, and the officer's just kind of following the dog, and the dog follows Cole Allen out the door, but the officer and kind of stops at the door, which prevents the dog from continuing to follow Cole Allen. And so he goes out the door, and the door closes, and kind of the officer just kind of starts to walk back the opposite way, the other way of the door. Mm-hmm. And moments later, I'm talking about seconds later, Cole Allen then busts back in that same door with the shotgun. And remember, he's got knives on him, and he's got a handgun. He busts in that door. As soon as he does, he takes off running through the magnetometer. When he comes through the door, the cop with the dog kind of turns around. He's like, wait a minute. And you can't ask the question as to why did that officer with the dog not stop him if the dog was, I don't know if the dog was fully alerting him, but there was something to Cole Allen that had that dog kind of following him, mm-hmm. right? He busts back in through the door. He runs through the magnetometer, and it does happen really fast. And the officers in the area react very quickly as they could have, including one officer that's on the left side of the screen, which would have been to the right of Cole Allen in the direction he was running. That officer, which is a police officer, pulls his gun out and looks to fire 3 shots at Cole Allen while he's passing by. Mm-hmm. Other officers, the ones in the suit and ties, I assume are Secret Service, they, as soon as he passes them, they pull out their weapons. I don't know if they fire, but then he runs off screen as per the video that everybody's seen. And
no, there are people all around?
There are people all around, but it happened so fast that they just reacted as quick as they could. And then he gets
maybe
out
why
of...
they didn't shoot.
Yeah, well, and then you got to deal with crossfire and everything else. But there was one officer in this video, and you can even see the bullet holes in the wall after he fired. He fired 3 shots. You can see the flash on the muzzle of his gun. Mm-hmm. He then runs, this all happens within seconds, I guess, into the next area where a Secret Service agent fires at him but misses, and Cole Allen fires at the Secret Service agent, which may have been blocking the way, and hits the Secret Service agent, I guess, in his body armor. And Cole Allen then goes down after being shot at but missed. And I assume the reason the Secret Service agent missed is because he was simultaneously hit and was, mm-hmm. kind of off the mark a little bit. But Cole Allen then went down without being shot, and they detained him and everything else. I think the high-resolution video kind of shows what I was trying to tell everybody on Monday, which was the Secret Service did their job. They were catching tons of heat, and everybody was hammering them, but from what you can see here, it's more apparent that Secret Service did their job. You can criticize how security was set up, but I don't think you can criticize Secret Service in any way as far as how all this went down and the job that they performed. 205-545-9950. Deep South Construction Pros bringing you this part of the show. Deep South Construction Pros.com. DeepSouthConstructionPros.com. These guys, as you know, with the rain that we've had lately, I've been telling you, make sure you're checking your basement, your crawl space, see if you got moisture down there, water coming in, whatever. It's about waterproofing that stuff, man, and making sure that's not, a lot of bad things can happen. I mean, you can get your belongings that you got crammed down in your basement can get destroyed with water damage, or you can just have to deal with the standard mold buildup and everything else that can cause problems from, getting your family sick to, deteriorating your house, your foundation, and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that moisture, that moldy smell. Also be on the lookout for foundation issues like cracks in the brick, doors and windows not opening and shutting like they used to, separations in the floor and the wall, even in the ceiling. Just look for cracks and just some things that don't look normal. That's what you need to be on the lookout for. If you got any of those issues, call these guys up, ask them any question you got, have them come out, check it out for you. They'll be more than happy to do that. But these guys are just fantastic. Glad to have them a part of the show and glad to be able to link you guys up with them, as I know they're going to take care of you. 256-305-1854. That's 256-305-1854. Online, DeepSouthConstructionPros.com. Bubba Rumble on the line. Bubba, what's up, cuz?
Hey-o.
Hey now.
Banger of a show like always. We don't need no Matt Murphy up in here, whatever. Gosh.
Yeah, apparently he ain't going to call us today, cool.
He's a busy guy, but I do enjoy his witty banter when he allows us the privilege of hearing it. So anyway, real quick on the hoopty car stuff and all that, when I was in my 20s, I had a 1969 four-door Ford Fairlane wore-out hoopty named Dorothy.
Nice.
And, the rear quarter panel was bashed in almost all the way to the door and stuff. It had seen better days, and like all reasonable people, I used to drive that thing 300-405 miles at a time, man, because you ain't lived unless you had a hoopty car that you really shouldn't even drive around the block that you're taking road trips on. If you don't believe me, ask Jay Bizzle, because he drives the Mustang to Carolina all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's a thrill seeker.
Yeah, he is.
Living on the edge.
But yeah,
why do you always
Dorothy's
talk like that to Bubba Rumble, by the way? You always use this deep voice.
Yeah, well.
I like it.
Yeah, it's my badass voice.
Okay, I was just wondering.
That's right, man.
It's only for Bubba Rumble's call.
It's Jay Bizzle. I bring out the Jay Bizzle in him, dude.
That's right.
You don't mess with Jay Bizzle.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Hey, the Jay Bizzle character needs to make a comeback. He was on the podcast one night, and that was one intimidating dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's true.
Yeah, bring it back. Bring it back. All right, so speaking of Andrew Mandu and Jay Bizzle, I was doing my perfunctory page stalking on the fake book yesterday, and whilst I was on there stalking you guys, I saw a post clearly from Mark Wayne Mullins talking about how the budget shutdown was over and everything was fully funded and everything, and then I heard you just talking about how something maybe didn't happen. So what's going on with this? Is the shutdown over? Is DHS funded, or was it all just a bunch of hoopla?
No, it's funded, and I think Donald Trump's already signed it. But this is a fight over ICE and CBP funding, which they're being funded, but from the One Big Beautiful Bill. But this is more into the realm of future funding. As the Democrats, their goal is to completely defund those two agencies and derail any sort of immigrations. As you know, they want the borders wide open, and they want to use this excuse.
No borders, no walls, no
Right.
USA at all.
Right. That's essentially. I mean, it's the same thing that we've been dealing with, and whether it's virtue signaling on their part or whatever, it's just normal Democrat games that are being played. So at the end of the day, the shutdown is over, And, thanks to prior funding, CBP and ICE are still being funded. But they're going to be going for future funding. From what they're indicating, they're going to go through the reconciliation process and likely get it through. But I don't just I don't like even if it's a a what's the word I'm looking for, even though if it's just a um um what's the word I'm looking for, John Bird, even if it's not a real win, if it's just hey, look, we actually beat the Republicans, or we convinced we got the Republicans to not do X, Y, and Z, even if it's not real, and they can act like they got to win. I don't even like that. I don't even like the Democrats pretending to get a win. So
No,
because it's all it's all about visuals for them. It's all about
symbolic
wins. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. Symbolic. There we go. There we go, Bubba Rumble.
I don't want the Democrats to have anything, man. I don't even want them to have a sense of purpose by the time we're done with them, because they're all a bunch of commie traitor scumbags. But so basically, DHS is funded, and does that mean the air traffic controllers get their paychecks now too, and all that?
Yeah, all of that is in the bill, which again I believe was signed by the president yesterday, maybe last night. So
yeah,
everything's back on track for now.
Then the other thing I saw is Mullins was saying that they did it without one vote from the Democrats. Does that mean the rhinos actually came together and did something that might be construed as good for America?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't actually look at the list of who voted, but Democrats definitely didn't vote for it. It was actually just a voice vote, from what I understand. So
okay,
they didn't even go through the full process. They were just like, "Yeah, you got it. Okay, we're good. Let's go. Let's move it along."
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that, and I wanted to get some clarification from you, because I've just been so dang busy the past couple of days that I haven't had a chance to absorb my normal amount of intel. But I want the people that are protecting America to get their paychecks. The only thing that I'm not liking right now is this another FISA extension, I guess, is still on the table. Huh?
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I get what, because Trump supports it. And it's just one section of FISA, which has to do with what the military uses. But I still get the heebie-jeebies just from the thought of FISA anything being approved. But unfortunately, I think that's probably going to be the case.
Yeah, well, if what I've gathered is correct, American citizens are the ones that have been most surveilled under FISA, because they can always connect the dots somehow from some foreign source to domestic sources and broaden the circle. And next thing you know, we're all under surveillance, because I called the Hey Now show and talked to Andrew Mandu about right-winger stuff.
That's it. Because it could be, I mean, they can set you up. They can get a particular individual to reach out to you that you don't even know. And the next thing you know, you're part of the surveillance program. You're part of the surveillance. And then it bleeds off into whoever you're talking to and everything else. And it's just, there's no sort of restrictions, and there's no limitations on it. And that's why it's so bad. That's why it's so unconstitutional, honestly.
Yeah, and it was a byproduct of the Patriot Act in the first place, if I remember correctly. So all that stuff needs to get sundowned for good, because I want my civil liberties intact. I like the Fourth Amendment, man. I just really do.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
All right, you dudes have a great weekend, and we'll be talking to you later. And hey, now enjoy that John Bird concert over there, all you over there at Coosa Island, man. Get you some of that.
I'll try to stream it on YouTube tonight as well. So I know I can't do Rumble, but if you can sneak on YouTube, we'll be there.
If I did, I'll just keep it a secret.
Keep it low profile, of course. All right, Bubba.
Right. All right, dudes. Hey
now. There's Bubba. Let me go over to Glenn in Pell City. Glenn, what's up?
Nothing much. I was going to get in on this hoopty for your first vehicle.
Yeah.
I was 16 years old, in 2000. My folks told me if I wanted a vehicle, I had to work and buy it. I worked all summer, made a few $100, bought a 1973 F-100 pickup truck that had plywood across the floor because it was so rusty you could see daylight and the road underneath you.
Jeez.
I drove that truck for 4 years, and like previous caller said, 400 or 500 miles at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see y'all tonight. My wife and I are planning on going out to O'Sherry's tonight to see y'all.
Oh,
Nice.
sweet.
Cool, man. Well, we'll see you then, Glenn. Appreciate it, buddy. Could you imagine how terrifying that would be to drive a car where you can look down and see the road underneath you?
Yeah, but a lot of people in my neighborhood were like that.
I mean, that's some Flintstone stuff right there. And if your car breaks down, you just stick your feet down there and start running.
Yep, you do that.
Yeah, buddy. Tom and Pierce City. Tom, what's up?
Yeah, man. Hey, Roll Tide, the coach let 3 major stars go for missing a curfew and for staying out partying right after practice.
Oh,
It's on Facebook. I sent you the article, so check that out. And did y'all hear that Alabama is cutting out state taxes in groceries now?
I've heard it proposed before, but I didn't know that
It
was
passed. Governor Ivey passed it, according to Google. So Google that and check it out. But, yeah, we're not supposed to have any taxes on a steak at the grocery store.
We'll see. Did
I'm
Alabama?
going to try it out and see if it works.
You can try it out and see if it works. Let's see. Did
I'm gonna see
Alabama
if
pass?
it shows up no taxes.
Says Alabama has not permanently eliminated the grocery tax, but it has enacted a temporary 2-month suspension of the 2% state sales tax on food from May 1st to June 30th. This grocery tax holiday passed as part of HB 527 removes only the state portion, meaning city and county state sales taxes on groceries still apply.
Yes,
So basically,
they're going to
just
get you
for
one way.
the next for the next 2 months, you'll have 2% of your taxes taken off.
Right. So,
Woo!
and the store's going to get you one way or another.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, there's no doubt. No doubt.
So, might be out there, John Bird, later.
Come on.
Oh, we might get Tom from Pell City out there, too. Come on, Coles.
Be a party.
Come on, Coles. Come on. Tony says, hey, JB, asked the folks at O'Sherry if about a band called 4th and 1, and let me start over. Ask them about a band called 4th and 1 they had heard or seen. Oh, I guess ask if they've ever heard or seen of 4th and 1.
Okay, I will. I won't be able to do it tonight because Joel won't be out there because he's got those 3 locations. So he's, you never know where he's going to be.
Yeah. 4th and 1. Maybe this guy's in 4th and 1 and he's trying to get you to book a gig. Maybe he's trying to take food out of your mouth. He's trying to take away your gigs.
No, man, it's all love. Just spread the love.
I'm just kidding. 205-545-9950. What else do we got coming up? James Comey. His first court appearance is set in North Carolina. I'll tell you when that is right after this. Here we go. James Comey's first appearance in North Carolina on new criminal charges is set for May 11th in Greenville, North Carolina.
Uh-oh. Some old stomping ground.
Yeah. Old James Comey in a North Crackalacky courtroom. Good for him. It'll be interesting to see it now that it's out of the – what is Greenville like? I'm glad it's out of the swamp of D.C., but –
Yeah, I mean, it's been so long, but the way it was back then is it was a medium-sized city. East Carolina is there, so it was a college town. It was very conservative, really cool place. A lot of action downtown, a lot of music venues, a lot of hot chicks, a lot of good times.
Is that where you left your girlfriend on the beach when y'all got?
No, let's not get it. No, that was that was a decade or so earlier.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Here's what's interesting because we've seen, obviously the push for the Comey charges and the Fauci stuff, or Fauci's assistant rather, all of that, and the SPLC stuff as well. We saw all that come after Pam Bondi got fired and Todd Blanche came in, and it makes me wonder, was Pam Bondi really that bad? Was she gumming up the gears of going after these individuals? Why, and the argument will be made that it takes years to put this stuff together, which is true. But what are the chances that all these shoes start to drop after Pam Bondi is gone? It seems like maybe there's more to it than not. I mean, there's reports out there that Blanche pushed for the prosecutors to pursue the Comey thing after they put Pam Bondi on ice. As soon as he came in, he started pushing for it, which would, I guess it would make sense that he was, in fact, doing that because he wants to come in, just like anybody at a new job. Like, you want to come in and start impressing your bosses immediately. So human nature would tell you that, yeah, that makes sense that he would do that. But why wasn't Bondi getting it done? I'm curious. And by the way, they're not stopping at just the criminal prosecutions, by the way. Listen to this, John Bird. Federal prosecutors are looking to seize Comey's book sale profits if, in fact, that they end up convicting him. If they convict James Comey, they are going to end up taking all of his book profits, which I think is a fantastic idea. I think they should absolutely take all of his money, because what has he done? I mean, he's used all of this to go on late night shows and everything else in order to make himself a bunch of money. And he does, and that's what most people do. They piggyback, most of these individuals piggyback off of Trump, right? Trump's coattails as being anti-Trump to end up making a bunch of money. But I think about just the state of society and the reaction, and we've talked about it all week, the reaction from people after yet another, the third assassination attempt against our president, and how people have acted in the aftermath of that. Speaking of late night, Jimmy Kimmel, how he acted, how he acted before and after Trump's assassination attempt. And it's as if we live in this bizarro world where people no longer have a conscience. I think about the brewery out in Wisconsin. I've been watching that dude's social media. He's an absolute lunatic, and it's just random people on social media, and even, celebrities or people of note that would come out and be like, yeah, I don't condone violence, but, I do wake up every day waiting on that news. If you go back to when Ronald Reagan was shot, when he was shot at that same hotel, the Oscars were set for Was it that following night, or was it? I may have even been that night that the Oscars were going down. They were gonna do the yearly Oscars show or whatever it is, and Johnny Carson was the host of the Oscars. Well, because the president had been shot, they ended up delaying the Oscars to the next day because it was that big of a deal. And even in a room full of celebrities and people all across the spectrum, they still showed respect for the person, no matter if he was a Republican or Democrat, and in this case, Republican, still showed respect to the president of the United States, who had just had his life threatened greatly. Listen to this clip from, this was 1981, the 1981 Oscars. Johnny Carson talking about Ronald Reagan and how he had just been shot the day before.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure that all of you here and most of you watching tonight understand why we delayed this program for 24 hours. Because of the incredible events of yesterday, that old adage, the show must go on, seemed relatively unimportant. The Academy, ABC Television, and all of us connected with the show felt because of the uncertain outcome, as of this time yesterday, it would have been inappropriate to stage a celebration. But the news today is very good, as you know. The president is in excellent condition at last reports. He's been conducting business. And he happens to be in very good spirits. After all, you must remember this is a man who yesterday, while he was in the hospital unable to speak, wrote on a sheet of paper, "All things considered, I'd rather be in Philadelphia." So tonight the show does go on. Now, 2 weeks ago, President Reagan videotaped an opening greeting for this occasion. We were in contact with the White House about 2 hours ago, and it was the president's express wishes that we use that introduction. And I might add that you might like to know that he also asked for a television set in his room so he could view this program tonight. I was,
But anyway, so just you hear the reaction of a room full of Hollywood celebrities. That's what the Oscars are, aren't they? Movies? That's not music, is it? No, that's the Grammys. Yeah,
it's movies.
A room full of actors and actresses elated over the fact that the president of the United States is okay, a Republican. Do you think you'd get that same thing today? No, of course you wouldn't. So what is wrong with society?